Welcome back, adventurers. Today, we're diving into some Perk Theory, based on the Nighthaven announcement for New World Eternum. Just in case you missed it, Nighthaven is a free expansion, disguised as a content update. And it's dropping October 13th for all New World Eternum licensees. Before we talk about actual perks, we need to talk about the attribute changes, because these are major and are impacting gear dramatically. From the announcement, there are no longer any perks which increase attributes. We felt these perks didn't really result in a meaningful choice between two good alternatives, so we've decided to reclaim that slot for more interesting perks. All of the attribute points that used to come from these perks have been instead added into the native attribute point pool granted by normal leveling. And to make sure this is easier to manage, we've made gear set storage loadouts now all save your current attribute loadout. The attribute perks on existing gear have been replaced with other perks of relatively low power, since players will keep the power the attribute perks used to yield. So in short, all of the plus 32 dexterity or plus 36 strength or even plus whatever the number was magnify are gone. Those points are now part of your core attribute pool, based on your level, not your gear. Honestly, the best part about this change is that your attributes will now save with your gear sets. This is something we have been asking since gear sets were first introduced. You'll no longer have to juggle respecs when swapping builds, and this is a huge quality of life win for all the players. Now, let's talk about the perk system itself, which is getting a serious overhaul. Instead of one customizable gem socket, gear can now have up to 4 empty sockets into which players can install new perk modifiers called charms. Charm sockets and charms themselves have 3 types: defensive, offensive, and skill. These charms can be picked up fully refined, but more commonly will need to be crafted with rare materials which drop from endgame content. The key phrase here is up to 4 empty sockets. Here's what I believe is happening. Current legendary gear has 3 perks, plus 1 attribute perk. That attribute perk is being eliminated. Its value shifted to leveling, and it's being replaced by a 4th perk slot. Each perk socket will probably be type locked to offensive, defensive, or skill. With 4 sockets and 3 types of perks, that's 15 possible combinations for legendary gear. When it comes to perk design, the devs had this to say: we've done a complete sweep through our collection of perks and made some structural changes. Our goal is to make perk selection conditional and thoughtful, and to eliminate the, quote, must-have, end quote, perks that simply raise the critical combat numbers like damage, stamina, and cooldown reduction without some kind of meaningful drawback. Now, how they're actually going to pull that off, I'm not sure. Meta is meta. Players will always gravitate towards what works. There's no real way around that. But here's the upside. If we really can swap perks in and out of gear more easily, it'll open the door for actual experimentation. The theorycrafters, those cooks in the kitchen, can try new builds without grinding for full gear sets every time. That to me is a gigantic win. However, not all slots will be necessarily empty. The game devs are also introducing what they are calling infix perks. From the announcement, there will still be unique gear pieces with powerful and rare perks called infixes. These will function similarly to how the unique perk on artifacts work. So what this means is that gear can roll with a special infix perk, sort of making it a mini artifact. I don't think we'll see more than one of these per item, but that still adds another 10 gear permutations on top of the existing variations. Now let's talk skill perks. I'm thinking empowering fireball, penetrating shot, are probably good examples of what they mean by this. Personally, I don't think we'll see items with 3 or more of these, because that would be terribly overpowered. Double skill perk gear? Maybe, but likely uncommon. And honestly, if I were the devs, I'd make legendary gear with 3+ matching charm types way rarer. That would boost the value of epic gear that rolls naturally with 3 matching charms, making epic gear potentially actually worth keeping instead of just being salvage fodder. So if we eliminate those possible broken combinations, we're left with 21 viable slot variations across 3 weight classes. That gives us a potential total of 63 legendary gear layouts. That is a lot more diversity in endgame gear. Now I know there has been a lot of questions about crafting. The announcement is vague, but here's what we know. That these charms can be picked up fully refined, but more commonly will need to be crafted with rare materials which drop from endgame content. That suggests we'll get components as drops, and then crafters will be essential to turning them into usable charms. So going forward, crafting may shift focus from making full gear to making perk charms and consumables. Also worth mentioning, there's no official word on gems in the announcement. I think the gem socket is remaining, and that the type of effect will depend on the item type. Slotting a gem in a weapon gives you an offensive trait, and in armor, a defensive trait. I don't think this is going to be changing just yet. So, this is my perk theory for New World Eternum, Nighthaven. It's entirely possible I'm way off. After all, I thought Nighthaven would be paid, but I was wrong. And Jay was right. It's actually free. If this system lands the way I think it will, it could revitalize endgame gear and bring new life to the grind. So what do you think? Does this make the game better or worse for you? Are you excited for the changes coming with Nighthaven? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your takes. And if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button. Turn notifications on, because as New World Eternum information drops, I will continue to bring news as well as theorycraft up to and through the release of New World Eternum Nighthaven. And remember, adventurers, while we wait for night to fall for Nighthaven and the catacombs to open, the corrupted continue to push into our lands. Sign up for your invasions, defend your settlements, and send those corrupted back to Shattered Mountain with their tails between their legs. Good luck, have fun, kill 'em all.